What's going on, everyone? Welcome back. Today, I wanted to showcase some Ice-type gameplay in the Go Battle League because I keep on seeing so many people disrespect this typing. They pretend like Ice-types don't exist, but Alolan Ninetales today is going to prove them wrong. Alolan Ninetales, as far as Ice-types go, is kind of bulky. It's got some bulk to it, right? As well as very consistent Ice-type damage with Powder Snow as well as Weather Ball. You have options for coverage moves as well, with both Chilling Water as well as Dazzling Gleam being very good options, and even Psyshock, if you wanted to run that, it's a pretty good move. I don't think that's the best move, though. I'm going to run Dazzling Gleam myself just because I don't want to be walled by opposing water types, and because I feel like Dazzling Gleam's raw nuke potential is pretty nice sometimes, but there's a lot of different choices you can run on this Pokemon, and this team does look pretty good. But real quick, before we get into the battles, I want to ask if you're not currently subscribed to the channel, please consider doing so. It helps out quite a bit, and I'd really appreciate it. But let's get into the battles and see what Ninetales can do. Alright, we got our first opponent of the day. We'll see if Alolan Ninetales is going to be a good core breaker today. Like, oftentimes, you see teams that are just so weak to it, but it's always when you're not actually using it, right? We see a Eufisk on the lead, which is pretty good for us, I'd have to say. Shadow Celio on the safe swap. I don't really have a hard answer to this Pokemon, but Feraligatr should be able to win the 2-shield matchup here, I believe. And honestly, I don't necessarily need Switch as much as they probably do this game. Let's see what they do, though. Body Slam does do quite a bit of damage, but we do survive that. And I should survive the next Body Slam as well. Honestly, maybe I play out the 0-shield matchup here, because I could get a shield advantage, and that could be nice. We'll see, though. Oh, weird. They actually just let me get the Hydro Cannon off before they do anything. I wonder if Shadow Celio can actually just consistently flip the 2-shield matchup. I'm not quite certain on the matchup. Like, not as certain as you'd think I'd be. With that said, I mean, they're giving me the opportunity here, I think, to flip this, so I'm going to try to go for it. I think I can just 2-shield Claw down at this point. So that's what I'm going to go for. I think if 3 Shadow Claws are enough to knock out, then I can flip this. Honestly, I don't know if that's true. Maybe I go for a Hydro Cannon here, just to make sure that I don't, like, mess it up. I should have, yeah. That's a bit of a miscount by me. That's actually so bad for us. I thought they were 1 away from the move. I thought they were 3 away from when I was saying that. Oof. Okay, bad miscount by me. Celio was actually putting in some work here, but I can hope that they're not actually good this game into Ninetales, and it looks like that is going to be the case. Ninetales is actually looking pretty strong against them. I'm going to go for a Dazzling Gleam, which they might not expect here. It would one-shot them if they let it go. Oh, well, I guess it doesn't one-shot them, but it basically one-shots them. And now we still have our Alolan Ninetales. We have our own Eufisk in the mirror match in the backline. And, I mean, there is still a Celio we have to worry about. Wait, they don't even superpower us? That's crazy. Am I even in Mud Bomb range now? I don't even know if I am. I was kind of banking on the fact that Ninetales could be still good this game, but honestly, I should have gone for that Hydro Cannon against the Celio. Like, that was a really bad play that I didn't end up going for. They're at 6. So they have a Mud Bomb +1 right now. I do kind of wonder here if a Mud Bomb is going to be enough to knock us out from this range, or if they're going to have to throw a second move. Oh, they let us land that? Well, now it's just going to take one Mud Bomb here to knock them out. So I should be fine. I really hope I survive this, but I might not. No, it is enough to knock us out. They can always go for a catch here to win this game, but they need 3 Mud Bombs still, so we'll see what happens. I'm going to try my best to not let a catch happen. That would be embarrassing. Let's see, Mud Bomb will come through, but yeah, it takes 3 Mud Bombs to knock us out here. And it's always going to come down to, like, if they expect me to ever, like, throw and they try to catch. And there's the catch. I was just going to keep on farming, like, even past 100 energy. I was going to go for the play where I expect them to catch. So, you know, despite the big misplay against that Shadow Celio, still were able to get the win, just because Ninetales is honestly so good as a core breaker a lot of the time. We got our next opponent, though. We'll see Shadow, or I guess it's not Shadow, it's regular Ninetales, into Piloswine. Wow, okay. I guess this is probably pretty good for us here, saying I do neutral Ice-type damage, I resist their damage, but they could always go for, like, a Stone Edge or a High Horsepower, which would do a lot. I'm not going to throw energy here, because they would survive it, so if I just overfarm, then I can make sure that if they want to switch out, now I have a lot of energy, or if they stay in, I can put them into the Weather Ball range before anything else happens. Looks like they do bait us, which is fine. I can still outpace them here, right? And getting rid of this should be pretty good for our Eufisk in the backline. Although Feraligatr is also pretty good here, so it's a little bit sad that this Pokemon might be able to, you know, put in some work if they end up calling moves right. But it looks like we end up seeing a no-shield on that move. I guess I could have gone for a Dazzling Gleam, but I didn't really feel like it, so I didn't. I am going to shield this. I think it's pretty likely they go for a big move here. I mean, there's, like, no way they don't. There's no reason not to go for a Stone Edge or a High Horsepower. It is High Horsepower that is going to knock us out if I don't shield it, so good shield by us. We'll see what comes in. Okay, Aegislash comes in. A little bit of a scary Pokemon. But we have a Eufisk in the back line. That should be in a decent spot. And it's not like we're hard-walled here. I mean, we are, right? But it's going to be a matchup where 3 Hydro Cannons will still basically knock out. And if I save my Yufisk and my Ninetales, it's going to be hard for Aegislash to do everything it has to do this game. Probably a Bubble Beam coming through if I had to guess. I guess we'll see. Yeah, Bubble Beam going to land against us. If I can, I would be very happy for a 3rd Hydro Cannon in this game. We'll see if I can reach it or not. If I do reach a 3rd Hydro Cannon, we're in a pretty good spot. If I can't, you know, we'll see. Hydro. Oh, no. Oh, no. Okay, that's not great. Ninetales should be able to come back in, though. And, I mean, Dazzling Gleam. Uh-oh. Is this a Water Pulse? It probably is. I don't know if a Weather Ball would have been enough to knock out there. I honestly don't think it would have been enough. But if I knock this out, like, Aegislash is still going to be in a really awkward position. That was a really good catch by them, though. I wish I had Chilling Water here, not gonna lie. I think I just lose this game. Aegislash is gonna sweep me. Aegislash is gonna put in way too much work. Because, I mean, I can't really build up extra energy with my Ninetales there. I mean, I kind of have to, but I can't at the same time, you know? This is so bad. I don't understand what's going on right now. It's so bad, though. Oh, they throw there. That's interesting. I'm kind of surprised that they ended up doing that. Because they're not at that much energy just yet, right? I can go for a Discharge now, force them back into shield form, and I might still be in a playable spot, but obviously this game's going to get dicey depending on just how much energy they can get up to here. Alright, Discharge should get a shield. Yep, we get the shield from the Aegislash. And I mean, now I think I need a catch here to win this game. So we'll go for it. And we do get the catch off. Hold on. That might be the little bit of wiggle room that we need to win this game. Because now they're going to be in Mud Bomb range here. Or, I mean, even Discharge range when they're in Sword form. But they're also going to be in range where my Yufisk can discharge the Araquanid. Okay, let's just knock this out. Because I should be able to outpace the Aegislash now to a Mud Bomb. I think at this point, Aegislash is in range that a Mud Bomb knocks them out. I hope that's the case. If not, then Aegislash is stupid. It's going to be close, actually. I think a really good Aegislash could survive this, but even still, they're not quite at their next move yet. It's a pretty slow Pokemon when it's in shield form. Mud Bomb, not quite a knockout, but one more Thundershock does it. You know, that catch was huge. I misplayed this game pretty hard, but we also came back from it, so it's good to see that the team's insane. I'm just not. Next opponent. We'll see Alolan Ninetales up against Togekiss. That's a pretty good lead. A lot of the time you see ground types in the back here. So we'll see what they bring in. Or if they stay in for some reason. And they are staying in. That's crazy. I am so strong into Togekiss with my team. It's not even funny, right? I have a Yufisk in the backline that's even better than my Ninetales. Maybe I shouldn't shield this up, but I think if they're staying in this lead matchup, that does validate the theory that there could be some ground types in the backline. So I think I like this play. Oh, nice catch by them. Licky Licky comes in. Okay. That's fine. I mean, I can just build up some more energy here and come in Yufisk. And as long as I always have some energy left over, I should be in a pretty good spot. These Powder Snows are even adding up. It's putting it into double discharge range. And that means at this point, I should be able to overfarm quite a bit here as well. They could be on Earthquake or Solar Beam. They built it to 7, so it could also be like Hyper Beam. I don't know. I'll no-shield this. I survive whatever they throw here. But it would be a little bit annoying if they were on a big move. No, it's just a Shadow Ball. So they're at 3. 4. I'll go for the Discharge here because it is a little bit cheaper. And we'll see if they want to try to shield something. I would be surprised, though, to see a shield. 5. I would imagine right now Diggersby is the final Pokemon. Diggersby would make a lot of sense here on this team. Shadow Ball once again comes through. It hurts, but we do survive it. I'm just going to throw this energy here. I want to make sure I can knock this out before they can swap out. I don't want them playing around the switch clock at all. I want them to make sure this Licky Licky either has to shield or it goes down. Okay, well, maybe I shouldn't have brought this in necessarily, but honestly, wait, this isn't bad. This is actually really good for us that I did that. I saw the Fire-type Incinerate come through, and I was like, wait, this is terrible, but I mean, still, I think we have enough energy that this is pretty good for us, because we're going to just spam out so many Weather Balls here. They have to throw an alignment to get their next move off, and that Togekiss is not going to want to see my Yufisk, and it's really not going to want to see a Gator that has Ice Beam as well. It might even be in just range where I could knock them out with, oh, they don't even realize how much energy I have. That's insane. Does this just knock them out? I might not even need my Gator this game. But they might even be in Hydro Cannon range on that Togekiss, so really, almost any way this game could have played out, it would have been kind of bad for them. Okay, they bring back in the Togekiss, I guess. That might mean that I need to use my Gator. Yeah, dang it. I'll have to show my Gator this game, because I kind of have to shield this up. And they have a C-Bomb loaded, so I'll have to get a Shadow Claw or two off against them. I can't quite get the full sweep. They had just enough energy here to go for that move. But that's fine. We can have our Gator make a little bit of a cameo on the backline. And while our backline is a little bit weak to Grass-type damage, the best thing is, like, Gator is a Shadow Claw user, right? So against Gourgeist specifically, it's honestly not that bad. They have one Seed Bomb. I think they're one Incinerate from the next, but, I mean, even if they had back-to-back, it wouldn't be enough to knock us out. Because Seed Bomb's not really that good of a move, and we're a non-Shadow Gator, so we'll take the win. GG's. Next battle. We'll see Ninetales into Talonflame. Not a great lead matchup, but generally when we see this lead, Feraligatr can at least put in some work here. And if shields go down, it's not like my Weather Balls wouldn't do some damage. Go-Goat? Okay. Well, that's not super ideal here to see in the backline. I'm going to go straight for an Ice Beam because I do want to get shields down, and I guess it is a good thing that I baited this out. But Goat is not a Pokemon I really wanted to see. Yeah, we get a shield, I guess. But this game is looking kind of scary. 10. I could have CMP'd there, I suppose. I was kind of expecting them to just keep on farming, though, because at that point, if I do CMP them, I get a really easy farm down. I'm kind of surprised they wouldn't have overfarmed extra. It's fine. We're going to lose this game, probably, but we're going to keep on playing it out. There's a chance we're not RPS'd in the back. This is going to be a Rock Slide, likely, unless they're on Brick Break for some reason. And Rock Slide is going to do a decent chunk of our HP, but we do survive it. I'm just going to Weather Ball immediately, and they actually catch on Licky Licky. That's a really nice play by them, actually. Because I'm not necessarily that strong into the Go-Goat in the backline. I would have actually probably swept this game with my Ufisk had they let us. So, that's not great. But we'll see what we can do. Maybe I can still have some play. Because I can save my Ninetales, and I can build up a lot of energy here. And maybe that's going to help. I think I'm going to shield the first move, because I have to shield something this game. And I guess it's going to be this. Shadow Ball would hurt, so it's a good shield. If I don't shield that, we're just in a spot where we get maybe even just fast moved down, and I can't let that happen. Alright, they're going to go for the Body Slam. It's going to hurt. Actually, it doesn't really hurt that much. Interesting. They do come back in with the Go-Goat here, but they have now switch-locked themselves in this matchup. They let that go. Makes sense. I don't know. I think we might lose this game. Is that a bold thing to say? I don't think we're in a great spot. That's for sure. We can discharge here at the very least. And, I mean, if we get a shield and then we can get some Powder Snow damage in against them, then maybe we're able to win. But I need them to, like, be 2 away from their next move. But they're 1 away. Oh my goodness. Wow, that was a heck of a play by our opponent. They're saving the Go-Goat to make sure that I was not able to leverage my Ufisk as much as I needed to in the back line. It's a good play. It's annoying for me, though, that I have to deal with an opponent who does that. Dang it. That's, honestly, I think I could have had play against that if they didn't do that. Let's see what we'll see in this next one. Ninetales into Talonflame. Okay. Again, not a great lead matchup here. It's a non-Shadow Talonflame, though, which hopefully means it's not quite an immediate threat with the faster pressure like the Shadow variant would be. We end up baiting out a Licky Licky here. So, unfortunately, another team pretty weak to the Ufisk. But, you know, we'll try to play it out here, where we're just going to go for the Hydro Cannons. Maybe we can get some shields down. And once shields go down, I'm hoping the final Pokemon is not just going to destroy us. Alright, they're at 7 right now, so they are at back-to-back Body Slams, or like Shadow Ball plus Body Slam. But the best thing here is, it looks like I might be able to Shadow Claw them down over time. Might not be the best Licky Licky in the game. We'll see. I'm going to shield this up for sure. It's almost certainly a Shadow Ball, right? But maybe it's just Body Slam spam, which wouldn't be super ideal if that's the case. It is Shadow Ball. They're at the next one right now. But we do get our move off first, so that's nice. What do I want to do? They're at 5 right now. So... 6. Okay, they're at the Shadow Ball plus 2. I think, honestly, I'll let this go. I don't love it, but I don't really think I can win Switch Advantage here, the more I'm looking at it. And they have a Body Slam coming out of this, too. That's really sad. It's fine, though. Like, what if they're falling into our trap right now? What if this is good for us, actually? What if Ufisk is just 3 times strong into this team? I have seen a lot of teams recently disrespect... Oh my goodness, they actually just swap into Talonflame. They just hard pivot. Well, that gives me a little bit of an opening. A lot of the time, the non-Shadow Talonflame doesn't run Flame Charge, but I mean, they probably do, because I would not be that lucky. So, yeah, we do see the Flame Charge come through there, which is a little bit unfortunate. And since this is the non-Shadow, they do survive this move, and I think they survive 3 more Thunder Shocks. Yeah, they definitely do. But, I mean, now it comes down to what I want to invest in this game. And I know they've already been kind of soft to Ufisk, but I feel like I don't want to invest everything right now just in my Ninetales when I can have basically 2 attacks coming out of this matchup. So I will shield that up, I'll go for the farm down, and we'll see what comes in. I'm hoping that whatever it is, we can get some nice damage off here with our Ufisk. Okay, it actually is a Pokemon that our Ufisk is pretty good into. Jellicent is not going to want to take these discharges, right? If I get a second discharge off, then all it's going to take is potentially a Dazzling Gleam, and we can knock him out there with our Ninetales. They might be banking on the fact that I might not have that on my moveset. I know a lot of the times these days, you see Alolan Ninetales running Chilling Water, which is not a bad moveset, but it's not the one that I'm running. So, we'll see what they do. 5. Alright. I do have the Dazzling Gleam, but likely they go for a Shadow Ball, and maybe they swap into that Licky Licky now to try to go for a catch. They're going for a catch. Yep. You can see that they're going for the catch when the Jellicent's just standing still, and, you know, why would they stand still if they're not trying to catch me off guard there? We go for the Dazzling Gleam now. This might not be enough to knock out, but I should have enough HP to go for a fast move farm down here with my Ninetales, or even get a Weather Ball off. I think the farm down's all we need, though. Nice. Okay, that's a really bad lead. Luckily, we overcame it. GG's. Okay, next game. We'll see Ninetales into Aegislash. Wow, this is maybe the first player in existence to ever lead an Aegislash in the Go Battle League. Not a great lead for me necessarily, but it is a lead that I have a lot of play into. And especially if they give us that much energy lead and bring in an Altaria, which I could then just one-shot with an Ice Beam, then I think we're in a pretty good position. They gave me such an energy lead that I don't even think I have to go for baits here, right? I should just be able to go straight Ice Beam and win this. With that said, they're likely going to try to get shields down at all costs here, because that's what Aegislash users want to do, right? Once shields go down, Aegislash is in a very good spot against most teams. But again, we'll see. Ice Beam just gets the knockout. They just let that go. Okay. Oh. Okay, well, I mean, I think I just win this, right? Because I can Ice Beam this as well. And then either guarantee the shield or a knockout against them, and then Ninetales gets against this. Let's just, like, show them our final Pokemon, so hopefully they realize how over this game is. Yeah, alright, crazy. Okay, next game. We'll see Ninetales into Shadow Greninja. Oh boy. Don't have a great answer to this, but I think for Alligator is actually, like, it's a decent save swap, and if we can get some shields down, then it's not like I'm unplayable into this Pokemon. Okay, I'll go for the Hydro Cannon immediately, just to try to get either a lot of damage here, or potentially a shield. I would imagine they just let this go, though. Hydro Cannon actually does get a shield. Alright. I mean, I can survive a Night Slash. This is just like the old matchup back in the day of Shadow for Alligator into regular Greninja, so I know that this is fine in all shielding scenarios, and they can't even double boost against us. Well, they can single boost. But, like, you know, I guess they can double boost if they boost a second time. Luckily, the single boost is nowhere near as impactful as that classic double boost was back in the good old days. Go for the Hydro Cannon here, try to get a knockout if possible, and then if they do let this go, then I think maybe I let my Feraligatr go at this point, but if they shield, I definitely match shields, because I need to land the next Hydro Cannon. Alright. Shield this up for sure. And hopefully here I can reach my next Hydro Cannon before their next move. They do actually get a second boost, that's crazy. They shouldn't have done that, that's really annoying. Probably shouldn't have come in Ninetales here, but honestly, I don't really have a great way to deal with this Pokemon. And honestly, Ninetales probably doesn't get one-shot by a Power Gem, so I think this might still be fine. I bank a Hydro Cannon, because I think I want it still for that Greninja later on this game. Power Gem does hurt, but yeah, we survived that. And we can get to 2 Weather Balls at the very least, putting this into range where Ufisk should be able to farm this down, or at least come out with a Discharge for that Greninja later on this game. And we do still have that Hydro Cannon. Oh, okay. They actually let us get this off. I'm really happy I got this Dazzling Gleam. It's going to do a little bit more raw damage than a Weather Ball. This probably just knocks him out, right? It does, okay. And what's going to happen? If Greninja comes in, I think I just swap out and I go for a Hydro Cannon. Do I? I don't even know if I do that. I'm doing it. You can't stop me. I don't want to let them be in a spot here this game where this Greninja ever lands a Hydro Cannon into my Ufisk, so I'm just going to try to knock this out. But what's in the back line? Tinkaton? Okay, that is beautiful. That is finally a little bit of wiggle room for my team here. We have Stunfisk. We can just go for 2 Mud Bombs, and we should be fine even if they get a Bulldoze debuff. With that said, maybe they could get a Bulldoze debuff and into a Gigaton Hammer, and would that be enough? I don't think so. They don't even get the debuff, though, so we don't have to worry about it. If they have Play Rough, and they got that debuff, maybe that would have been enough. Nice, okay. That was a bit of a scary game there. They did double boost with the Greninja, not in a single Night Slash like back in the day, but that was needlessly scary. Next opponent, Ninetales up against a Malamar, Shadow Malamar. Okay, Shadow Malamar is actually, I think, a little bit scarier than regular Malamar for this matchup because Superpower and Psywave actually do quite a bit of damage to us. With that said, we do survive whatever they throw here. And if they're staying in, I would have to imagine that means something in the backline really doesn't want to see Ninetales. I'm going to shield this up and probably just play out the 2-shield matchup. They do foul play. Nice bait. Yeah. Ooh, nice catch as well. We're just letting a lot of bad things happen against us. Okay. But surely that Dazzling Gleam's going to be, like, really helpful chip damage. Okay. We try to go for a catch, but obviously they're not going to let that happen. But I don't necessarily need switch advantage that badly this game. I wouldn't mind it, but I don't need it completely, because Gator's still fine in the other matchup. They got a debuff that's a little bit less ideal. They're at a back-to-back discharge, or why did I say discharge? Bulldoze, that is, right now. They probably always no-shield this, saying they do survive it. Oh, they shield. I'm fine with that. Oh, man. That's a good play. 6. They have so much energy right now. But if I can swap into my Feraligatr right now, I am going to be pretty happy. The switch clock was like half a second off. I think we just lose this game now, then. I think we're in a really bad spot. Oh, they Fire Punch, expecting the catch? Hold on. Wiggle room. Little bit of wiggle room. They're giving us a chance. They're giving us a small chance. Thank you, trainer. I think they thought for sure either I'd shield or that I'd bring in Ninetales. They didn't think that I wouldn't be able to swap. I just get to back-to-back Hydro Cannons here, and then I can rip both of them into whatever comes in. I'm so fine if they catch. I don't mind that at all. I should be able to go for the second one, right? Unless somehow they got a CMP sack swap there, which, you know, maybe they did. Nice. I do get the next move off, and this will knock them out. Malamar is still around, but I still have my Ufisk. I still have a decent amount of HP on my Feraligatr, and a lot of energy on Ninetales. Okay. I let this go. I come back in with my Ufisk here, and I go for a Mud Bomb. Because they let us keep this energy, right? I am scared about that Diggersby's energy, though. Like, how much energy does the Diggersby have? Will it be able to outpace us before I get to 2 Weather Balls? Because 1 is not going to be enough to knock out. They actually have their switch clock right back up. They are swapping way too much this game. It's freaking me out. Okay. I have to shield this up for sure. Fire Punch might not even be enough to knock us out from this range, but I'm worried, like, if it doesn't knock us out, what if it puts us into, like, 1 Psywave range, and then they could, like, get another move off with that Malamar into my Ufisk? Looks like that was a CMP here. I should survive this, though, right? I'm almost certain I survive. And then, I guess we'll see. If I survive this, we'll play it from there. I do survive literally just barely. I get this Weather Ball off, and now I have to switch out and hope they don't have, like, either a foul play now, or that they're 1 away from a foul play, and they can get it. Nice, okay. They played that very well. They had so many good catches. Luckily, we got a little bit bailed out by that mid-game play of the Fire Punch, and just barely we got the win. Okay, we have Ninetales into Grumpig. Okay, non-shadow into non-shadow. So I don't exactly know how this plays out, but I bet the zeros is probably winnable for Ninetales, just because they're doing non-stab charge attack pressure, and I do outpace them. So we'll go for the back-to-back Weather Balls, and we'll see what they want to do. I feel like at this point, They might have something in the backline kind of weak to Ninetales. That's like almost always the suspicion that I have with Ninetales as a Pokemon. It's like, why are they staying in this lead matchup? They've got to be weak to us somewhere, right? They have to have a weakness. That's why they're staying in. But it's also just a pretty neutral matchup. They actually Dynamic Punch, which I think is a little bit of a misplay, saying they're not going to be able to outpace us ever. They might as well just go for the raw damage of a Shadow Ball. But, you know, maybe they're going to shield this anyway and try to dance around. And at that point, maybe it's a better play. They do shield that. All right. They still have to throw energy here. And I think at this point, I'm just going to go for a Shadow Claw down with my Feraligatr. Now, if they do get another Dynamic Punch off, then that will make me eat my words a little bit about the Dynamic Punches they're throwing. So, which honestly, I think they might. Yeah. Well, actually, they got DRE to get there, but they do get the move. That's fine, I guess. We have 4 Shadow Claws of energy on Feraligatr. That is a pretty good energy head start. Although it is really unfortunate that that ended up happening. I could have got that farm down and not needed to shield that, which would have been really cool. Okay, Licky Licky. I could see it being maybe a Corviknight in the backline. I could see a lot of things, though, because Licky Licky Grumpig is just a pretty solid core. There's not a lot of things in the game that core can't handle, aside from, like, maybe Malamar, so maybe there's a Fairy type in the back. They should be at 4 right now, so a Shadow Ball or 1 past a Body Slam. The Shadow Ball, okay. I'll go for the Hydro Cannon here. I'm 1 Shadow Claw away from my next move, so I think there's a good chance they are going to go for an instant Body Slam here, in which case I think the best play is to switch out to my Ufisk and try to catch it. Yeah, and now I'm still going to save my energy on my Feraligatr. I get a Sneak here, and there's a chance maybe I can Thundershock this down, and there's never a chance that I could have Shadow Clawed this down. So, we'll see what's in the back line. Togekiss? Okay, game over. Game over. Togekiss is so bad into Ufisk. This is probably the worst matchup Togekiss really has in the meta, aside from maybe Carbink. Okay, let's go. Got our next opponent, and we'll see Ninetales into Shadow Celio. Okay, I don't like this lead matchup. I actually am a little bit soft to Shadow Celio across the board. I think maybe I'll actually stay in for a second, though. Sure, I'll be in a spot here where I'm doing double resisted Powder Snows, and they're only doing single resisted, but Dazzling Gleam will hurt quite a bit, and if they either shield or let it go, either way, it's some decent either damage, or it's nice to get that shield advantage against them. They go for a Surf here. Dazzling Gleam should probably get a shield. I'd imagine Celio wants to shield this, but maybe they don't even expect a Dazzling Gleam at this point. Nice, honestly, that's some good damage. They can Body Slam us here, looks like. And again, I think I'm fine with that. Just building up energy on Feraligatr is going to be pretty helpful, because a lot of the time, energy on Feraligatr is pretty useful into most things I might see. Okay, Shadow Fortress comes in. Not the best Pokemon to see, but at least I get to 2 attacks here before they can even Sand Tomb us. And at this point, I don't even know what to be in the backline. They have to have an actual, like, fighter answer, right? I would imagine. All right, we get a second Hydro Cannon off. That's pretty cool. I'd be surprised to see a double shield here. That's going down a lot of resources on their part this early on in the game. Yeah, they do let that go. Makes sense. I'm actually going to bring in Ninetales here. Might be a bad play, but I think I kind of have to. Just because I don't want to be in a spot where I take a lot of extra chip damage on my Ufisk. So I think this is the play. A Sand Tomb us. I'm kind of surprised by that, actually. I could have called that and then wouldn't have been knocked out, but yeah, I guess I could just double Sand Tomb us too. That's really annoying. I'm in a bad spot. I thought I could reach a Weather Ball before that second attack, but I think I Powder Snow down. Okay, or I get the Celio back out. Probably should have Dazzling Gleamed, but if we get a shield here, then Weather Ball is definitely the better play. They do let that go. And maybe I could have Thundershock down with the Ufisk there, but I'm not going to risk it. I think at this point, I just hope that Ufisk is good down as shield in the backline. There's not a lot of things that Ufisk probably beats. Like, Shadow Talonflame would be one of them. Shadow Annihilate, that's definitely not something that I'd be able to beat in the backline. Dang it. Okay, well, I don't think that team's going to be super beatable for us through and through. We see an Alolan, or a Unova Ninetales into our Alolan... No, we see a Unovan Stunfisk into our Alolan Ninetales. Can't even speak. That's how crazy things are right now. I'm going to go for an attempt at a catch here on an Air Cutter. We don't quite get it, but, I mean, honestly, I'm very fine with this either way. Full team has a lot of super effective damage against opposing Ufisks, so I don't really mind losing Switch if we happen to. And I also don't mind winning Switch, because this is not a Pokemon that they can easily Thundershock down, right? Alright, they'll go for the payback here in just a second against us, but actually I should just barely outpace to the second discharge right before they get to their second payback, because it's only 4 Thundershocks for the next move. So yeah, we can knock this out. We can guarantee at this point that either they shield this, and then they're in a really bad spot, or they no-shield this. And honestly, how do they knock us out this game? If they no-shield this, I don't know how they would. So yeah, I think that's the play they kind of have to go for there. Okay, well, I'll just bring in for Alligator. It's not the best answer here, but honestly, it's not bad. And because I was able to swap before they got 10 sideways of energy, I can always guarantee that I at least get 1 Hydro Cannon for every foul play they throw. We have a lot of energy on our Ninetales, a lot of energy on Ufisk, and we still have a shield advantage. This game is looking pretty bad for them at this point. We'll go for the Hydro Cannon as quickly as we can, just to make sure we don't have to shield before they have to go for a second shield against us. And now since they did end up shielding, I think the second shield, or I guess the first shield rather on my end is going to be the play. Go for a Hydro Cannon here, put them into range where I can just knock them out with fast move pressure, and then Ninetales plus Ufisk easily close out the game. Hydro, and we'll see what they do. Likely this doesn't quite knock them out, so they might switch out after this. Yeah, not quite a KO. They can't sidewave us down, so that's nice. They come in with their Ufisk here, which isn't a bad play necessarily, but they don't really have any plays left this game. I've just made sure not to give them any wiggle room every time they switch out. I guess I have the hard RPS answer into them. But even if I didn't, you know, at this point, we still have a shield advantage. We have a lot of energy on Ufisk. I saved the Gator, but Gator's pretty low at this point. It probably is only useful as a catch. We'll go for the Weather Ball here. And we're not even in range where they can knock us out with a single charge attack from the Corviknight, right? Unless they have Iron Head or Sky Attack. But Air Cutter doesn't do it. Payback's resisted. Ninetales should be able to close out this game. Yeah, we just no-shield this. We Weather Ball. If they go for like a combo play here, that's their best bet. I don't even know if they have the energy for that, though. But, like, they need to swap out now into Malamar and hope they can get like a CMP sack swap. But it looks like they're not able to do that. So Weather Ball knocks out the Corviknight. And I think they're in 1 Powder Snow range on that Malamar. Which means this game should be over. Nice. Okay, GG's. Although the Ninetales, I feel like, is one of those Pokemon that either shuts down a team or sometimes struggles to find play. It is very strong neutrally, but there's a lot of Pokemon in the meta, a lot of Steel types, a lot of Water types that can give it a little bit of trouble. With that said, this team is very strong and it's a lot of fun to use, so give it a go if you keep on seeing people disrespect Ice. But anyways, thank you so much for watching, take care, and I'll see you in the next one.